right, so we are on page 10, just looking at the idea of some matrix multiplication, okay? So when we're looking at this, what we're trying to do is we're trying to take two matrices and multiply them together, all right? So we can multiply these together. First, we have to look at the dimensions of each of these. So like if I look at this one, matrix A is 1 by 3. If I look at matrix B, it has 3 rows, it has 1 column, so it's a 3 by 1. Now, in order for multiple matrices to be done, the columns of the left matrix, okay, has to be the same as the rows in the right one. So like if I look at this situation, if I look at the columns in matrix A and the rows in matrix B, they are exactly the same. So I can multiply these together, all right? So in this example, the number of rows or columns in matrix A is equal to the number of rows, so 3 in matrix B, so we can multiply it. We can also tell the dimensions of what the answer matrix is, and that's going to be the number of rows in that first matrix and the number of columns in that second matrix, all right? So I will always think about rows by columns. You'll hear me say rows by columns in class and over the next couple examples. So in order for me to multiply these two matrices together, I'm going to take the rows in matrix A and multiply it by the columns in matrix B. So like I'm going to take 2 and multiply it by its corresponding column entry, 1. I'm going to take 3, multiply by its corresponding entry, which is -2. I'm going to take -5 by 4. So I have 2 plus -6 plus -20. And if I combine all those together, I would end up with -24. So my solution would just be -24. Okay? So let's just look at a couple examples in which we're just going to multiply them together, all right? So in this case, I have a 1 by 3. This one is a 3 by 2, so I can multiply these together because those two 3's are the same. So I'm going to take the row and by the column. So I'm going to take this row and multiply it by column 1. So I'm going to take 2 times 3 plus 4 times -2, and I'm going to take 5 and multiply by 1. So I know because these two numbers, the 3's are the same, that my answer matrix is going to be a 1 by 2. So in my answer, it's going to have 1 row and it's going to have 2 columns. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 2 and multiply by that first entry in the second column. So I'm going to take 2 times -4. I'm going to take 4 times 5, and then I'm going to take 5 times 6 and figure out what that's going to turn out to be. So I have 6 plus -6 plus 5. So that first entry is I got 11, so it's going to turn out to be 3. I have -8 plus 20 plus 30. And if I add those two together, I get 42. So my answer matrix is 3, 42. So let's look at another example, okay? All right, so in this case, I have a 3 by 2, and then I have a 2 by 2, okay? So I know that my answer matrix, so I have 3 by 2, 2 by 2. So because these two 2's are the same, my answer matrix is going to be a 3 by 2 matrix. Okay? So I have rows, 3 rows, and I have 2 columns. Okay? So what's going to happen is I have a 3 by 2 matrix, so I'm going to take row 1 times column 2. So I'm going to take 10 times -5 plus 0 times 2. And then I'm going to do row 1 times column 2. So I'm going to take 10 times 8 plus 0 times -4. All right, so this is row 1 column 1. 1, 2, 3, row 1, column 1. Okay? And then I'm going to take row 1, column 2, and multiply those two together. Okay? So this next entry is row 2, column 1, row 2 times column 1. I'm going to take 2 times negative 5 plus negative 1 times 2. And then I have row 2, column 2, row 2 times column 2. 2 times 8 plus negative 1 times negative 4. I have row 3, column 1, row 3, column 1. 7 times negative 5 plus 3 times 2. Then I have row 3, column 2. So 7 times 8 plus 3 times negative 4. So in order for me just to get that final answer, like if I perform all those operations, for that first entry I should have gotten negative 50. If I take 10 times negative 5, or 10 times negative 5 plus 0 times 2. If I take 10 times 8 and 0 times 4, or 0 times negative 4, you should get it to be 80. The next row, I get negative 10 plus negative 2, which is negative 12. 16 plus 4 is 20. I got negative 35 plus 6, which is negative 29. And if I take 7 times 8 plus negative 12, I get it to be negative 40, or positive 44. Okay. All right. So that is this one, number 2. Let's look at number 3. I'm going to ask you guys just to pause it for a second. I want you guys to try to set it up and just try it, and then I'll walk through it. We have a 1 by 2 matrix. We have a 2 by 3, so that means that my answer is going to be a 1 by 3. Rows by columns, I get negative 31, 1, and negative 2. Okay, so we're going to work through this a little bit more the next day, but hopefully this helps.